only Frank has got the US going through on penalty shootouts.
Yeah, I think
after 1-1 after 120 minutes. Considering Frank's prediction so far in this tournament, it's not boding well, is it?
Good. No, it's getting good. It's getting good, guys.
It's getting good, yes.
It's getting very good.
Yeah, it could be much worse. Okay, let's get more on this game then, Charles. We join the Football Americas crew, Seb Salazar and Hercules Gomez.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thrilled to be joined by Pascal Kamperman, our colleague from ESPN Netherlands. Let's get to some medical information first about this game. We hear that there's a flu running through this Dutch team. What's up?
Well, exactly. It's not really a flu, I think. There are some concerns about Frankie de Jong. He was a little bit ill last week. He told himself he had a sore throat. Yesterday, Martin de Roon also said, well, I do have a little problem with my nose. I can't breathe very well. So a lot of players do have problems with air conditioning, I think. They go into training site and 35 degrees, something like that. Then they go back to the hotel, 12 degrees, something like that. And they do have a lot of problems with air conditioning. And so I don't think it's really a flu.
Okay. Could be an edge for the U.S.
I do hope it's really not.
Well, if you think about the one place where the U.S. men's national team does have an edge over this Netherlands team, it's physically.
Yeah.
It's the way they can run you into the ground, especially in that midfield. So if you have a Frankie de Jong who's not at 100% physically, that could hamper his ability to deal with physically again, because technically it's something else. The Netherlands will outmatch you technically. They will move the ball and possess it on you. But if you could take that away by running them into the ground, you have an edge.
And that's exactly why I'm a little bit concerned about it, because if they do have some physical problems, we saw in the group stage that they are not very energetic. And it was always, they are struggling a lot. And if you can't breathe, well, it will not be much better in this game, I think.
We talked about it last night on Football Americas. How would you describe how the fans back home feel about this matchup and facing this U.S. team, and maybe how they feel about this Dutch team overall?
Well, first of all, I have to say there were a lot of discussions going on before the tournament started, because the place, Qatar, the Doha, and everything around it. So that's why they are not so enthusiastic about the tournament at all. First 3 games in the group stage, well, they didn't play very well. It was a little bit boring, so people in Holland are a little bit pessimistic.
Really?
And, well, first game, there were, I think, 5 million people watching the game, something like that. I don't know exactly the figures, but something like that. The third game, it was 3 million, I think.
Wow.
So they lost a lot of them.
They lost a lot of interest.
Well, when you look at the U.S. men's national team, it's almost the exact opposite, because this is a team that's coming in carefree. Their first game, they had 20 million viewers in the United States, and it's picking up steam as they advance. And you mentioned Netherlands not playing well against the likes of Senegal. There was 2 Mendy errors that led to the victory there. And against Ecuador, I actually thought Ecuador was the better team. And what the U.S. men's national team can do is play with that pressure, because they will be carefree. So that means a Christian Pulisic, a Timothy Weah, free-flowing attack, and maybe not being so much in their head, knowing that they have that cover at that very dynamic and physical midfield in Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie can play to their benefit.
Well, I'm not sure about the game tomorrow, of course, but I think maybe it's 50-50, something like that. And it will be a real tough one for the Netherlands, real tough.
From your perspective, what is the strength of this Dutch team?
Well, they're quite solid. Defensively, they are doing very well, not very well. They're doing okay, I think.
They've only given up 1 goal. They're doing okay.
Exactly. Okay. Virgil van Dijk, of course, is a good defender. Nathan Ake, player of Manchester City, is doing very well at the moment. So no problems about that. But they do have some problems, I think, in the midfield. Frankie de Jong, no question about him. But the position besides him, it's the Louis van Gaal switched that player a lot.
Every game.
Every game. Every game. And up front, of course, we do have problems. Cody Gakpo is playing very well. Scored 3 times every game. One with his left, right. One with his left, and
the
one
perfect
with his
hat trick,
Yeah, exactly, in 3 games. But Memphis was injured for a long time, and he's not on his regular level again. So we have to see how he's doing in this game. And there are a lot of players struggling because they didn't play very well at the clubs before the tournament. And yeah, they're still looking for the best way to do it.
What about the goalie?
Andries Noppert.
Yes.
Noppert.
I'm glad you pronounced that.
You didn't know him before.
No, I didn't know him before because he hasn't played very
Know him
much.
before.
No. Well, I actually asked somebody how you pronounced it, and they sent me your voice recording of how you pronounce it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's nice. Yeah, he's a tall guy.
Are there some concerns there?
No, in my opinion, I don't have concerns about him. No, because he is, he's with both of his feet on the ground. He doesn't get nervous about anything, I think. So, of course, he does not have any experience.
Now, when you mean any experience,
Nothing.
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 This is his first game.
This is his
These are first
tournament.
games.
Yeah. he made his debut in the national team on the World Cup. Can you imagine it?
Yes.
Pascal, what would the reaction be back home if the Dutch go out to the United States here?
Wow. Well, of course, everyone is disappointed. Well, Louis van Gaal said before the tournament, quarterfinal, that's our goal.
Okay.
No, sorry. We have a big chance to win the World Cup. But finally, quarterfinal is the main goal. So when they go out in the round of 16, yeah, it's very disappointing, of course.
Listen, the Netherlands are a better team.
Right.
On paper, their current form, if you will, because if you look at, they won their group, only 1 goal scored on them.
Yep.
There's no question about the talent, even their coach, legendary coach. But this is a team that Ecuador exposed them physically.
Exactly.
You can hurt them. That 3 in the back is very solid. But behind Blind and behind Dumfries, there's
some
space to exploit. These are 2 very good defensive teams. It's really about taking your chances against a very special, talented team with the ball. I do think there are moments, pockets where the U.S. men's national team can hurt them. Whether they win or not is a different story, but this Netherlands team can be hurt.
Yeah, and well, they always have some problems with teams like USA and Australia and teams with a lot of fighting spirit and a lot of energy and well, especially when you saw the group matches of the Netherlands, they had a lack of energy. So that could be a big problem, I think.
So we started this segment with a look at everybody's predictions back in studio. Everybody back in studio is picking the Dutch with one exception. You're never going to guess who it is. Frank Leboeuf. Who's been a little ice-cold on his picks. He's been a little bit ice-cold on his picks, but he's got the U.S. advancing on penalties. So let's get predictions here on the desk. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, like I said, it's for me it's 50-50. It's really hard. 1-1, regular time, extra time, penalties, 5-4 Netherlands.
Ooh, there it is.
You're going
wow.
penalties 5-4
But he's literally saying by the narrowest of margins.
Andries Noppert will save.
One
have a save in one.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
When you look at how well these 2 teams defend, it really can be just that 1 goal. And I look at how Ecuador was able to hurt this Netherlands national team. They scored 2 goals. 1 was called back, and then they hit the crossbar. I do feel in transition, if you can be smart, especially with the way the midfield is for the U.S. men's national team, how they can just ran you ragged, you will have opportunities. If they could take that one, I'm going 1-0 USA.
Okay, so ESPN United States, picking United States. ESPN Netherlands.
Of course.
Picking Netherlands.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.